Chapter 4 Ho Ho Oh. The spies kept a close eye on Fleming throughout the day, while also making sure that Sarah was safe. Sarah and Jenna's parents then met up with Bond and 00 Slitty, and they assured the duo that Fleming had been a personal assistant for so long that he was practically family. Despite acting like a child when they first met, when night fell, Sarah was a perfect lady. Bond started to appreciate Sarah at that point. When night came around, she sat down at a throne with Jenna behind her and motioned to let crowds of cars in to enjoy the Christmas displays. People started to flow in and walk around the grounds. There were light displays, all the greenhouses were open, and the giant Christmas tree was spinning. Spectators stood amazed at the musical fountain show, and for kids, there were pictures of Santa Claus. At one point, Sarah looked around her throne to see if anyone was around, and then at the line of kids taking pictures. From her room window, 00 Slitty looked down at Sarah walking around the grounds. James, what are your thoughts on Sarah? I mean, really, what are your thoughts?
Well, she seems to be filled with Yuletide cheer. I can see your concern with her first impression, but I think she cleans up rather nicely. What are your thoughts on that sister of hers?
Oh, I think she's fine, rather cute, but that's the least of my concern. For someone who is a possible target, I don't think they should be walking around the grounds with public at night.
Then why don't we join the party and her?
Bond pulled out 2 tuxedos and the spies put them on. They put on the camera bow ties with the printing coats. After getting dressed, the spies entered the festivities. Sarah noticed the spies coming and tried to avoid them. She spotted Jenna and sent her towards them. Why, Jenna, don't you look lovely this evening? Thank you, Daniel. The two of you look rather dashing yourselves.
Much appreciated, Jenna. Do you know where your sister might be? I would like to go over the plans for our trip to the safe house with both of you.
Oh yes, of course. She's right over here. She's right this way. Jenna led them over to the gazebo where people were taking pictures with Santa. Sarah didn't seem to be anywhere around, and the line seemed to have died down. The man playing Santa then stepped down from the gazebo and rounded the spy's position and pointed a gun. The spy's hands shot up immediately. 00 Slitty looked around to see if he could see Jenna, who had apparently disappeared and was nowhere in sight. However, Sarah then came into view with 2 other men. The 2 men approached Bond and 00 Slitty and patted them down and took their Walthers.
Ho, ho, oh, Bond said, looking up at the fake Santa.
Maxwell, what are you up to? 00 Slitty questioned. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. I can understand that you may find this happening a little fast, but you see, BJ and I have been trying to track you down. I needed you here so I could...
Capture us?
00 Slitty asked.
Sarah nodded. Precisely, Mr. Slitty, a voice said, coming into view. The entire story about Sarah being threatened was completely false. The riches do exist, as you can see, but the only ones in trouble are the 2 of you. I think that you and I are going to get to know each other a little bit more, so season's greetings to you both once again. You would understand if I forgot to mail you a Christmas card, Mr. BJ.
The fake Santa then directed his gun to the right of the spies and motioned them to move forward. The spies turned and started to move forward. Bond and 00 Slitty looked at each other and nodded. The spies then jumped into action once again. 00 Slitty punched his fist into the fake Santa's face, and Bond punched Fleming in the stomach so he would fall to the ground. Before the body hit the ground, however, Bond pressed his bow tie and took a picture of the person. Sarah advanced and stepped frantically around them, trying to stop them. However, she eventually got out of the way and backed off to BJ's side. Bond and 00 Slitty then got away and ducked behind the main garden house. James, may I suggest that we find somehow to get away?
Yes, and not in a manger. Perhaps we should try this door over here.
It seems locked.
Is it?
Bond got up and went over to the door and leaned his watch up against the door handle. The door then unlocked.
Pure magnetism.
Wouldn't the chimney be easier? The spies then entered. They opened a second door and found themselves in a dimly lit hallway. They started down the hallway and turned the corner. The 2 then stopped in their tracks. There was Jenna, tied up. Jenna, who did this? 00 Slitty questioned, untying Jenna. Forget about it. You have to get out of here.
Not until we find out why your sister is being such a Scrooge, Bond said, keeping watch.
I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I had no part in it, officially. It's all Sarah's doing. A group of men then came down the hall and found Bond and 00 Slitty. The group separated and BJ walked forward.
Gentlemen, we can't have you running away. According to your mission, you still have a reason to be here.
There is no reason for us being here. Treachery, kidnapping, I have to say, you are a real Grinch, aren't you?
That, Mr. Saletti, is your last word.
BJ was handed Bond's Walther and raised it. BJ, stop! BJ turned to see Sarah running to the commotion.
Sarah, why the holdup? Your plan is working perfectly.
No, I won't allow it. These two are here to protect me and Jenna from people like you. I'm going with James and 00 Saletti. Huh, how about that? It's like a Hallmark Christmas movie. Girl likes guy, girl leaves guy, but then somehow reunites with him, 00 Saletti said, smiling. Everyone looked at 00 Saletti, and he shrugged his shoulders. As Jenna removed the remaining rope, Bond grabbed Sarah's hand and 00 Saletti guided Jenna to the other side of the hall. BJ then turned towards his men. What are you waiting for? Christmas? After them! BJ and the other men ran after the group and found them approaching a row of cars.